SABC News political news editor Mzwandile Mbeje is in conversation with the IFP President Velenkosini Hlabisa. We'll take you there now.
Well, a very good evening to you and the viewers, Iman and Bongiwe. And then, of course, as you have correctly said, we are in conversation with the leader of the fourth biggest party in the country, the Inkatha Freedom Party, Velenkosini Hlabisa. And of course, the party in the past few months or maybe even years, they have seen some growth, particularly in this province where we're coming from, KwaZulu-Natal. We've been witnessing that mainly from the by-elections, and then they are saying this is a foretaste of things to come. But of course, as you and I know, the real test will be on the, well, we don't know the date yet, but will be in 2024 when the general elections are happening. And of course, welcome Mr. Hlabisa to the SABC for this chat. Thank you very much for responding very positively.
Good evening, Mr. Mbeje, and all the people of South Africa who are watching this interview.
Well, the IFP in the past few months, maybe a year or so, has seen some positive growth, particularly if you judge them by the elections that it's been contesting. And of course, it's not lost on me that yesterday you did not necessarily snatch that word from the ANC, I think in the South Coast.
Mr. Mbeje, not in the past few months. If you can go back to 2019,
yeah,
the IFP removed the Democratic Alliance as the official opposition in KwaZulu-Natal and became the official opposition. In 2021, we snatched municipalities from the ANC. In KwaZulu-Natal, we govern the majority of the municipalities. Of course, even in Mpumalanga province, in the latest by-elections, we won the VDs, which had been previously won by the EFF, even if we did not win the wards, but it was a tremendous gain. Of course, of late, we are taking wards which have been the strongholds of the ANC, and if we did not win the ward, we make a dramatic comeback simply because the people of South Africa and people of KwaZulu-Natal, they have trust in the IFP. They are now saying, we know how the IFP delivered as a government. Whenever there is a by-election, they want to put that by-election results in favor of the IFP. Yeah. And we are looking positively for elections next year, that people of KwaZulu-Natal know how the IFP governed this province. We delivered. There was no crime as we have crime today. So we are very positive.
Okay. What do you attribute that resurgence to, perhaps in very short words?
It's a combination of things.
Yeah.
One, the legacy of the IFP, which we draw from the Prince of Wapindangene. Servant leadership, clean governance. People know the IFP is a party you can trust. Our slogan, trust us. We have lived to its slogan. When we make a promise, we keep the promise. If we have a challenge, we are not afraid to go and say, we have a challenge on this promise, give us some time. People want leaders who are trustworthy.
Yeah, I'm saying this, Mr. Hlabisa, because obviously you govern in a number of municipalities, but let's be honest, in many of municipalities, service delivery is a big challenge. In fact, in some of them, you actually had to intervene because either your mayors were either misbehaved or did things that were totally against what you stand for. So that's why I'm saying, what do you attribute this to? Is it not perhaps the internal reactions within the ANC that also assist you?
No. We are not benefiting from the internal reactions of the ANC. We are benefiting from being proactive. You know, people of South Africa, they like a political party that is able to introduce consequence management. As you rightly say, we are dealing with human beings. You will have our office bearers making some mistakes. We don't hesitate. We quickly intervene and take an action. And people know when a political party says we will be accountable to you, and when an opportunity for accountability and consequence management presents itself and you become indecisive, they say, hey, well, look, these people, they don't do what they say. But when you act, when it is time to act, people say, yes, we can trust them. When it is time for action, they take an action. When they have to make a correction, they make a correction.
But in terms of governance, especially in the municipalities which you run, there's been a number of challenges. In fact, I think there were some instances, I think in Domain, that's Dundee, where taxi drivers had to personally close the potholes themselves because their government, led by the IFP, is not doing that.
Let us agree, Mr. Mbeje. The IFP inherited the municipality of Dundee from the ANC in 2021. Those potholes happened under the full watch of the ANC. We must accept that indeed there are challenges, but we are happy as the IFP because we're making good progress in a number of municipalities. You go to Mhlatuze, one of the upcoming municipality which will soon overtake eThekwini. We are doing very well. We are proud of the work that is being done there. The service delivery that is done in King Cetshwayo district in terms of water services. We are not afraid because our office bearers are down on the ground. Go to Uthugela. You see, Uthugela, the municipality is running on an unfunded budget inherited from the ANC. If you run a municipality within an unfunded budget, you cannot expect miracles, but we are determined. As we have been given an opportunity, we will ensure that we turn things around in as shortest period as possible to get a funded budget in that municipality.
But Ulusini, big challenges there.
But we are doing very well.
Still riddled with potholes everywhere.
The truth, Mr. Mbeje, potholes are throughout the country, and they cannot be attributed only to the IFP. Even the ANC is suffering the same. Our commitment as the IFP is that with sufficient budget, we must first deal with top priorities. The issue of roads is a priority as we are dealing with the roads issue throughout the municipalities that we govern.
So shouldn't you be different from the ANC? If they struggle to fix the potholes, why don't you say, as the IFP, we're actually not the ANC, look how we deal with them? So you find the same thing, 2 years later, the elections were 2021.
2021, it's only 2 years now.
It's 2 years now. So we're still faced with the same challenges.
But Mr. Mbeje, I think we must give patience. It's going to take 5 years to make fair judgment. The first year, we're recovering from COVID-19, and the second year, municipalities are now beginning to see the full implementation of the 10 points plan. The IFP had 10 points in the manifesto, and we gave every mayor that we will want you to account fully. How have you progressed on this manifesto? And every year we are going to be doing assessment in terms of performance and see progress, and also ensure that the budget is made available to concentrate on core issues that affect our communities. 13
municipalities still under administration?
Well, the administration...
Mostly under IFP?
Look, Mr. Mbeje, those municipalities are placed by the ANC under administration because they want to govern them through the back door. You see, you cannot have a municipality for 10 years under administration. Why put a municipality, go to Mkanyagute, more than 10 years under administration? Clearly, the administration practice is a failure, because you must put a municipality under administration and it must progress and get out of administration. If it doesn't, your whole process is manipulated for political reasons, because you want to maintain control administratively as you have lost control politically. Go to Mtubatuba. ANC lost dismally in every way to take control of Mtubatuba. They are maintaining the administrator there. At Mkanyagute, in terms of votes, people voted the IFP at Mkanyagute, but the ANC, because they want to maintain administrative control, they maintain the municipality under the administrator.
But there are still challenges in the Zululand district where the IFP governs.
Go to Zululand. You see, Mr. Mbeje, let us not take what people say in the media, say there are challenges. If you go to Zululand, people of Zululand will tell you that we do have challenges of water, but we do have the schedule as to when are the water tankers delivering water to us. Look at them when they vote. People are very smart. If you don't service them, they vote you out. If you service them, they will vote you back to be in control of that municipality. We know the politics. People want to paint a picture that things are not well in Zululand and saying a lot of things. But go to the people of Zululand, they will tell you that we know the schedule. That is why we believe that the IFP has made progress on the devastation that was done by ANC together with National Freedom Party when they were in control of Zululand. A number of capital projects have been introduced, and that is why they vote the IFP in big numbers.
All right, let's move to the DA, which we have replaced as the opposition party in this province. But of late, you seem to have warmed up to their moonshot pact that seek to get the like-minded parties together. So what is the IFP's official stance on what the DA has proposed?
You see, I'm not going to be a spokesperson for the moonshot pact, but the IFP believes in engagement of all stakeholders for the well-being of South Africa. Let me share this experience with you. The IFP once worked with the ANC in the national government, or in the government of national unity. We worked with the EFF in a coalition government in KwaZulu-Natal. We are working with the DA in a coalition government. So now we have a wide experience when it comes to working with political parties in the interest of building our country. Next year should be a turning point in South Africa. Our country has been plunged by ANC to crime. South Africa is a crime zone. Our young people are sitting idly at home, unemployed, under the full watch of the ANC. Our country spends more than 10 hours a day on load shedding under the ANC. Inflation has killed our economy and the well-being of our people under the ANC. So now the IFP, therefore, will be running a massive campaign to mobilize every South African that next year must be a turning point. Everybody must stand up to remove a government that has failed our country, a government that has made crime be what we live with. So now on the question of coalition, we are open to every political party that wants to remove corruption, load shedding, crime, incompetence, and failure to introduce consequence management. The DA and all other political parties from the opposition who are willing to share this common vision of let us build our country, save it from being a failed state. We will work together with that political party. For your information, even the ANC Even the ANC, Mr. Mbeje, let me share this one with you. If the ANC circumstances, forces that we go back to what we had in 1994 and have a wide range of political people with the common interest of South Africa who want to save our country, we are open, but it will be a high mountain for ANC to climb because one, they must agree to deal with consequence management to all people implicated by the Zondo Commission, all people who stole the money of people of South Africa, they must be willing to deal with. Otherwise, we will be coming together with people of South Africa to remove a failed government. Okay,
let me get this one very clear. So you are open to working with either the ANC or the DA post 2024 elections if there's a party which may, if let's say one party is not able to achieve the outright majority. Is that what you're saying?
Definitely, we will approach elections as an independent IFP with its policies and beliefs and manifesto. But the groundwork, we are doing the groundwork now. Let the like-minded must come together and agree that remove corruption, load shedding, etc. So now, immediately after elections, because Mr. Mbeje, you can't form a government if figures do not favor you.
Yes, certainly.
The figures will say who should come together and form a government that will fix the country that has been broken by the ANC.
If I understand you well, Mr. Hlabisa, are you saying the moonshot pact that the DA is pursuing can't be seriously entertained at this juncture until you see what has happened post-2024?
No. The moonshot pact, the discussion on a coalition is being engaged seriously now, but there will be no signed agreements between the IFP and any party before elections. We can agree that the common point, we remove a government that has failed our country.
Currently, the government is the ANC.
Is the ANC. We agree on that one.
But you've just said again, you are open to working with the ANC, yet you want to remove the ANC.
If numbers do not favor you to remove the ANC, you will be compelled to go into a negotiating table with the government with conditions that we can only work with you provided you will meet these requirements.
So you try and remove the ANC and somehow you fail, and then you find yourself working with the ANC again. Is it not a bit of a contradiction?
No, it's not a contradiction. To remove a government, you need the popular vote. That is why we are saying we will be mobilizing people of South Africa that stand up, everybody. 2024 is a turning point. We want to remove the ANC that has failed us. And if you don't get the sufficient numbers, you need to deal with what is in front of you with conditions in order to ensure that you save the little that you can to prevent our country to be a failed state.
So which may include working with the ANC?
It could be open to anyone in terms of numbers, Mr. Mbeje. Because you see, we are building a country. You know, you can't say, I will not do this, yet you do not know what will be the result. But the determination, the people of South Africa, the call that we will be making, running throughout the country, let us remove a government that has failed our country.
Okay, I think I get you, and it's quite clear. And then, of course, you accept that conditions may actually force you back into that government that you want to remove.
That is part of life.
Yeah, and then let's go to the EFF. Why did you fall out with the EFF?
Oh, well, the EFF, we couldn't agree on a very simple thing because they wanted us to give them umhlatuze. And we said the people of Umhlatuze trusted the IFP with their vote, and we could not betray them. And unfortunately, we could not agree. And the IFP regards the EFF as a political partner in the political arena because we share a similar constituency. The people who vote the IFP and the EFF in majority are the same. We are open in any discussion, but there will be conditions because, you know, they insulted the IFP when they went out of the coalition. They will need to deal with that. If they feel they need to come back and work with the IFP in any arrangement, because you see.
Okay. I think I get you.
Okay.
In short, you're saying, should the EFF express a desire to work with the IFP again, they must apologize.
Yes, and then they must also comply with the the values and policies which we say these are guiding principles and values in terms of forming a new government that will fix the country that has been being destroyed by the ANC, because the truth is their coalition is not working.
Let's come to internal party issues, the IFP issues. Are you happy with your entire leadership in the party, provincial, national, everywhere?
I'm quite very happy. You know, we are in a program of rebuilding structures. Right now, we are in a program of the inauguration of branches, because branches are the engine for the election campaign. It is the structures that you turn into an election machinery.
Absolutely.
And thereafter, constituencies, districts, provinces are intact in 2 provinces in Gauteng and KwaZulu-Natal, and the NEC at a national level is intact, and these structures are functioning very well, and the results are a demonstration that we are a party that is live and fully functional.
How is your working relationship with the chairperson of the IFP in this province, Tamindul?
We're working very, very good. You know, don't rely on what you hear from the social media, because you will be diverted by the enemies of the IFP, who wants to create a picture as if there is something not well. You know, with Mpemba, we talk through WhatsApp at any time. Midnight, because, you know, our problem, we sleep even after 12 in most of the time. So now the relationship is very good.
Okay.
I'm aware of what our opponents are trying to create a picture, because the IFP is giving a challenge. The way we win the by-elections, the projection we are presenting going towards 2024, it makes other parties have sleepless night, and they will try to talk whatever they want to talk, but get it from me. We have a hotline with Mpemba. There are no challenges between me and him.
In the event the IFP wins this province, who is likely to become the premier?
The IFP, when it is time for making the lists, like for instance, in 2019, the IFP nominated myself as a premier candidate. And in 2024, when the list is also made for provincial and national, the IFP will also do the same to make a decision as to who will be a premier candidate. There is nothing like a given in the IFP. You can go back to a number of people who were premier candidates for IFP in KwaZulu-Natal. It is the IFP as a body that makes a decision.
That makes you also eligible as the president of the IFP? In the event, because I'm talking about KZN because I think that's where you're strongest at the moment.
It doesn't exclude. Why? It will not be even for the first time. You can go to Western Cape. Helen Zille was a leader of the DA and a premier in the Western Cape. Even the IFP, it depends on your strategy as to what strategy are you using. If you say we want to consolidate the base and spread from a strong base, it is a strategy of a political party. So now it doesn't exclude me. It includes everybody whom the party can say at this time, this is a candidate that will drive the campaign in the province of KwaZulu-Natal.
I know that you have really respected the founder of the party, Dr. Buthelezi, but you are now the leader, the current leader. So why, not necessarily removing Dr. Buthelezi's pictures, but why is there reluctance to use your face as the face of the party as well. Why is it such a big issue in your party?
No, Mr. Mbeje, let us get it right.
Sure.
It is not a big issue.
Yeah.
You know, a brand, even companies, they decide what is a brand of a company.
Yeah.
That is why I'm saying, let us not infer what you get from the social media, from the enemies of the IFP, people who want to create a picture as things are not okay.
Okay, I think that's why I'm giving you this opportunity to clarify, yes?
No, there is just no problem. The IFP agreed on a brand. You remember, Mr. Mbeje, in 2019, you interviewed me in the same room on the same issue, and I said, I am the one who spearheaded that let us dedicate the year and the elections to the Prince of Wapindangene. Even now, he still deserves that dedication, Mr. Mbeje. Throughout the world, there is no single human being who wakes up and contributes in the welfare of the people of his country like the Prince of Wapindangene. He still deserves it. No, we can do it as long as we can, because but
why not
anyway.
Maybe alongside you? Because currently you are the face of the party. He is the brand, he is the founder, we accept that. But currently, Mr. Velenkosini Hlabisa is the president of the IFP.
There is no dispute on that one. That is why in this interview, you are speaking to the president of the IFP, who wants to see the president of the IFP. He is the face of the president. There is no dispute. We do not want to create a problem where there is no problem.
Okay. A Magoko somewhere in Hlabisa, who may not even know Mr. Hlabisa, may want to know, how is this Hlabisa looking like? Who leads my party? I know the party was founded and led by Dr. Ptelis, but I know that there is this young chap. Who is it? How are they going to know you if you are not you are not the face of the party?
I will be all over the show, in the media, television, newspaper, and the good thing with me, I also do door to door. People will
It's
know
impossible
me.
to go to every house.
No, even pictures, Mr. Mbeje. People take pictures with me. If an old lady say I doesn't know him, they will say, oh, here is this gentleman. So there is no issue.
But don't you think it's easier?
You can't, just 1 minute,
okay.
You can't limit the popularity of a leader to a face on the T-shirt. There are political parties who do not have faces, and it doesn't become an issue. Okay. So now, I think we shouldn't make an issue out of where there is no issue, while we have load shedding, crime, unemployment.
It is. Politically, it is an issue.
No, it is not an issue. It can be an issue to our opponents, but not to us. It's not an issue.
But what about a Magoko who wants to know her new leader?
Okay, but you see, Mr. Mbeje, you're talking about from Magoko you don't know, even yourself.
Obviously, I'm visualizing someone who may be interested in knowing the new leader.
But you see, in that Gogo, a main issue is crime, load shedding, unemployment, the grandchildren who are staying at home eating what called a pension. That is a bigger issue. That is why, as the IFP, we are at home. We don't have a problem. We can't change a brand because of the pressure from people outside who knows that the brand is working for the IFP. Let us just divert their attention. That is why to us, it's not an issue.
No, that's fine. We're moving towards closure, maybe very shortly. The position of the IFP on the Russia-Ukraine war, what is your position?
The IFP believes that every country has a right to remain free and independent. Ukraine deserves the same independence as deserved by every other country. Any superpower that wants to be a big brother is doing what is not good against the humankind. So now the IFP believes that Ukraine must be given its full autonomy, its full independence, and be respected in terms of its boundaries. No one country should want to be a big brother over Ukraine.
So Are you accusing Russia right now of invading Ukraine? I'm just wrapping up now.
Well,
In short-
Mr. Mbeje, the truth you know, the invasion of Ukraine is an issue internationally, which the IFP is of the view that Russia really should be considering the way it handles the issue of Ukraine, because it is unfair in terms of the human declaration, in terms of any
Just
international
the very,
rules
very
and
last one.
laws.
Should President Putin be coming here in August?
Well, the issue of President Putin, Mr. Mbeje, there are laws that regulate.
What does the IFP say?
No, there are international laws that regulates and even sometimes exempt the application of certain laws, because you shouldn't create an instability. If you can arrest Mr. Putin, you must be clear that you are causing a risk, which is not necessary. We have a problem of load shedding.
Okay.
Crime.
I think you've
We should
you've said that
concentrate
so
on
many
what
times.
considers
So
war.
basically, in short, as much as you are against the Russian...
care. There must be care how you handle it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Well, that is the leader there, of the IFP, Velenkosini Hlabisa. We've had a chat about a number of issues, and that, of course, the party feels they are doing quite well, particularly in this province, as they've been winning a number of by-elections. Of course, they were not that lucky yesterday.